Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Florida Panthers Daily. It's your host Jacob Williams. The season is right around the corner, and it's phenomenal to talk about our preseason predictions, not only for the Atlantic Division, other divisions. I've talked about that in previous videos, but excited to talk to you guys about the Stanley Cup Final preseason predictions. Who do I have in the Stanley Cup Final for 2026? Again, season's about to get started. We're still a little ways away from the 2026 Stanley Cup Final, but love to go and give you guys my predictions. Obviously, the Edmonton Oilers have made 2 consecutive Stanley Cup Final appearances, just like our Florida Panthers. The West is loaded with really great teams. The Vegas Golden Knights got a lot better over the summer with adding Jack Eichel. The Colorado Avalanche are still a very, very good team with Nathan MacKinnon, Cale Makar. We also have the Dallas Stars that have Rantanen, they have Ottinger, a lot of talent, and then obviously the Edmonton Oilers, the 2-time defending Western Conference champions. The West is absolutely loaded with a lot of great teams. I think those are going to be the 4 teams that are competing for the Western Conference: Edmonton, Dallas, Colorado, in Vegas. In the Western Conference Final, I actually have Vegas and Dallas. I think Edmonton is actually going to take a step back this year. I think Connor is going to play one more year, and I think he's going to make a transition because Edmonton is going to fall very, very far from their goal. I think you're going to have a Vegas-Dallas Western Conference Final, and I think just with the experience that the Dallas Stars have, you have Jamie Benn coming back for another year. I think they're finally going to push the envelope and get through and have a breakthrough and finally get back to the Stanley Cup Final, which they were in 2020. So I have Dallas over Vegas in the Western Conference Final. Dallas is going to the Stanley Cup Final. And then on the Eastern Conference side, it's really hard to pick against our Florida Panthers. I have them going through. I think the toughest challenge is going to be getting through the Tampa Bay Lightning. And I think that once they go and they get through that, they're going to probably face the Carolina Hurricanes in the Eastern Conference Final again. Past couple times that the Florida Panthers have played the Carolina Hurricanes in the playoffs, they are 8-1. I have no problem, or think they're going to have no issue with dealing with the Hurricanes again. So I have Panthers over the Hurricanes in the Eastern Conference Final, and that is going to be your 26th Stanley Cup Final matchup. Is going to be the Dallas Stars versus our Florida Panthers. Similar, like what I talked about before, is what is the biggest threat to a Florida Panthers dynasty? And I don't think that the biggest threat comes out of the Western Conference. I think the biggest threat not only just comes out of the Eastern Conference, but also not only comes out of the Eastern Conference, not only comes out of our division, but actually comes out of our own state, and that is the Tampa Bay Lightning. I think the Tampa Bay Lightning are one of the best, if not the second best team in the entire National Hockey League. It just so happens they play in the same state, play in the same division, and we see them a lot. And we're going to see them early on in the playoffs in the first 2 rounds. They have top goaltending and Andre Vasilevsky, elite goaltending. They have skill players. They have Nikita Kucherov, Brandon Hagel, Braden Point that can really move the puck, score guys. And then they also have some glue guys like McDonough and some other veteran players, Victor Hedman that they have, which is their captain. I think top to bottom, they're loaded. They also added talent last offseason in Jake Gensel. They're deep, they're talented, they have elite goaltending. They are by far going to be the biggest threat to a Panthers dynasty, just like we were the biggest threat to a Tampa Bay Lightning dynasty. The past 2 to 3 years that they haven't made it to the Stanley Cup Final, they've been eliminated by us. Vice versa, they are the biggest threat to a Florida Panthers rivalry or dynasty, which enhances the rivalry we've already had with them, and I think really creates one of the best rivalries not only in hockey but in all of sports. Recently on TSN, I don't know if you guys follow TSN, but there are 15 basically panelists, you could say analysts, that go and give their opinion based on information that they have and their experience in the game. And they actually went and out of the past 10 Stanley Cup champions, went and put together who was the best team. And no surprise, but the 25 Florida Panthers ranked best out of the last 10 Stanley Cup champions. The second and third teams were Tampa Bay Lightning teams, like we just talked about. It was the 21 team, and then after that, in the third spot was the 20 team, and then in fourth spot, it was the 24 Florida Panthers team. But the Florida Panthers for the 2025 season was ranked the best Stanley Cup champion in the past 10 years of Stanley Cup champion winners. No surprise there with just, being loaded with adding Marchand, adding Seth Jones, and really having all the talent that we had the previous year. No surprise that that's the case. But a little factoid, if you guys didn't know, not only do we think that the 25 Florida Panthers is one of the best teams ever assembled, TSN also thinks that as well. So love playing this little game. It's a little segment I like to play. What's more likely? So what it is it's two, you could say, unlikely situations that the Florida Panthers are going to deal with over the course of the season. It could be with team success or also player success, and just my opinion on what I feel like is more likely. So what do I think is more likely to happen? The Florida Panthers to finish in first place. And I'm not talking about first place in the entire NHL with winning the President's Trophy. I'm talking about first place in the Atlantic Division or missing the playoffs entirely. I think this is a really great question. I think we're definitely not going to miss the playoffs entirely. So I think the obvious answer is going to be Panthers finish first. But it's really, really tough to win a division, especially if you recently just won a division. We did in 24. We have Kachuk going on injury. We're not going to see him back until early January. We have a loaded division, a lot of great teams, the Tampa Bay Lightning, the Toronto Maple Leafs. We also have Ottawa and Montreal, who have made major strides in the past couple of years. Both of them made the playoffs last year. So we have a really, really strong division. I don't think we're going to finish first in the division. I have the Lightning finishing first. I have us finishing second. I also don't think we're going to miss the playoffs. I think that's going to be absolutely ridiculous. Don't think we're going to finish first or miss the playoffs. I have us finishing second in the division, but I think it's more likely that we will win the division than missing the playoffs entirely. Guys, thank you so much for watching another episode of Florida Panthers Daily. If you guys enjoy these videos, please go and support the channel by hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe button. It means a lot getting your guys' love and support. Again, thank you, and have a great rest of your week. Go Cats.